everyone. The topic of the day is saving yourself from fire disaster. I'm Gopal, the MC of the day. Now let's introduce ourselves.
Hi, I'm Janice.
Hi, I'm Li Ruo.
Hi, I'm back on.
Hi, I'm Hong Yang.
Hi, I'm Shu Yi.
Hi, I'm Ding Hong.
So the first question is, did you have ever experienced a fire or a fire near you when you were growing up? If not, have you read about any fires that have impressed you? For me, I didn't experience or witness a fire disaster, but when we talk about fire disaster, the first thing that comes to my mind is the Australia bushfires that happened in 2019. I don't know if you have ever heard about the fire disaster.
Yes, I did. It happened between July 2019 and 13th of February 2019. The NSW Fire Service reported that 11,264 brush or grass fires burned 5.4 million hectares. 2,439 homes was destroyed and approximately 24 megaliters of fire retardant was used in the fire disaster.
I never have occurred a forest fire before, but actually when I was a child, there was a fire in our community. I can only vaguely remember that when it happened, I could see that smoke was pouring out of the windows of the house where the fire broke out, and the fire engine whistled all over the community. At that time, about 100 residents lived nearby came to watch the fire, and fortunately, it was quickly put out.
There is one which is close to me. It happened in a building near my high school last year. The news said that the cause of the fire was that one of the households used electricity carelessly, but it didn't mention clearly for what.
Since I haven't experienced a fire, I was impressed by the huge fire that occurred at CCTV Cultural Center on the night of 9th February 2009, which resulted in the death of firefighter Zhang Jianyong. Injury many more people and caused a direct economic loss of 160 million yuan. The cause of the fire was the explosion of the large fireworks and the inflow of the hot stars which ignited the flammable materials in the maintenance access.
Well, I am lucky enough for not experienced any of the fire disasters before, but I once heard about a case that happened at one of the refineries located in my country. According to the news report, the fire was claimed to be caused by the fuel leak. Fortunately, the nearby fire station immediately set off to the disaster area shortly after the incident. The fire was successfully prevented from becoming more serious and every victims were rescued. Only 2 were injured and no one died in the incident.
To me, I haven't experienced any of the fire disaster either, but the school in my hometown will invite firemen to seminars on fire safety to introduce the danger of fire disaster and share fire self-resource knowledge. Every time when they share their experience about explosion accident in Tianjin Binhai new area, they will repeat how many people died in this accident again and again. Maybe I haven't experienced the fire disaster, but I can describe the number of fire word for word. The total energy of this explosion was about 1,415 tons of TNT. 165 people were killed and 8 missing, 798 injured.
So let's move on to the second question now. Based on what we have just said and what we have learned before, we can know how we should save ourselves if we meet a fire.
Family fires are generally caused by people's negligence because they happen suddenly. People are overwhelmed. Therefore, we should take preventive measures in advance, such as turning off the power supply in time when the family uses fire.
That's right. What Lingro said is exactly what is necessary in the event of a home fire. One must remain calm and take the right response in time. But if you don't know what to do, you should quickly call 119. If you are in China, give the name of the road, the number of the door, and so on, and evacuate to a safe place in time. It is important to know that doors and windows should be opened slowly when putting out a fire, to prevent air convection from accelerating the spirit of the fire and flames from bursting out and injure people.
it's a small fire, I will use water or quid to put out the fire first. And if the fire is too big to be put out, the first thing to do is cut off the gas valve, then call the fire alarm and clearly inform the fire situation.
Basically, all man-made fires are caused by some small details that we are easy to ignore. If we attempt to completely prevent the recurrence of such incidents, relevant units should establish a complete fire prevention mission, especially for some places for flammable materials such as nuclear power plants or an oil refinery.
What Pan Hong said also applies to forest fires. According to statistics, 90% of forest fires are caused by people. So when we play in the mountains, we should try to avoid using open fires. And after using the fire, be sure to completely extinguish before leaving to avoid the spark. I think these small actions can effectively reduce the occurrence of many forest fires.
Exactly. As a consequence, fire disaster prevention methods are essential to ensure violence, and those who live in and around us are safe. Let's say, you may report unattended fires if you are ever out and about and you notice a fire that is burning out of control or is unattended. Immediately call your local fire department when the conditions are right. Even a small campfire can turn into a massive fire. See something, say something is one of the key wildfire prevention methods. Besides, pay attention to the risk of forest fires in your area. If there is, always check the local forest to learn about the fire safety alerts. The individuals must be made aware so that they can prevent doing any activities that could end up causing a wildfire.
Of course, most chemical fires are also man-caused. As we all know, it's very important to store chemical raw materials safely and clean expired chemical materials regularly. Many conventional chemical materials give off a great deal of heat when they react with water, such as concentrated sulfuric acid, sodium, lithium, and so on. And this heat can also be the source of fire disasters.
So that's the end of today's podcast. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks to everyone who participated. Bye.
Thank you everyone. Bye bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Today we have a Chinese student, Freya Wang, who lived through a fire. Ask her to share her thoughts on the fire. Hello, Freya. What lessons can you share from your fire experience?
Oh, hello everyone. Yeah. And the most profound lesson is that at ordinary times you must remember the matters needing attention in your heart until you form a conditional reflex. Otherwise, in a critical situation, it is easy to panic or be influenced by the people around you and make the wrong response. This is the most profound experience of my personal experience of fire escape, and obviously learned the knowledge of fire escape. Wet clothes wetted his mouth and nose, lowered his body, and ran downstairs. But he still followed a group of panicked people upstairs. And so fortunately, the fire was small and was quickly brought under control. But the escape reaction was dead at that time. Now, when I go to cinemas and hotels, I pay special attention to the escape exists. Every time I take a plane, I will listen carefully to the escape matters again and review it silently in my heart. I really hope that the domestic escape knowledge training can be more in place. I hope everyone will have more willingness and less blank mentality. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for sharing. Bye bye.
Bye.
Now let's move on to the next part. Today we have invited Mr. Wang, who has participated in fire rescue, to share his experience with us. 汪先生您好，今天我们有2个问题想请教一下您。第一个问题是，在您看来，为什么发生火灾之后，很多人没有办法成功的逃生？
对这个问题有4个主要的原因。第一，室内一般有很多易燃物，燃烧会产生大量浓烟，而据统计，90%火灾致死的主要原因是吸入浓烟窒息。第二是室内火灾发生后逃生时间有限，同时逃生通道有限，由于求生欲使然，人们容易拥挤踩踏，导致出逃人数大大减少。第三是火灾发生的时间多集中在夜间，此时无论消防值班人员还是普通居民，警觉性都有所下降，很容易错过逃生的最佳时机。最后是居民住宅一般点多面广，隐患复杂，大多数居民缺乏完备的消防安全意识，没有掌握正确的逃生方法，可能造成不必要的伤亡。
那么如果真的遇到了火灾，你有什么经验分享给大家吗？
首先，不要尝试自己灭火，特别是在不清楚火灾规模和原因的情况下，在没有专业装备或者使用错误灭火方法的情况下盲目灭火，反而会威胁到自己的生命安全，更有可能导致火灾蔓延。其次，不要试图穿过火源，火源温度可能直接灼伤人体，即使是消防人员身穿防护服也无法避免高温灼伤。第三点是在逃生过程中如果迷路，请沿着墙壁走，因为消防员在浓烟中也看不见前方，也是沿着墙壁搜救的。最后被困时可以使用硬物敲打墙壁、管道或者各种发出声音，帮助救援人员明确自己的位置，保存体力。
好的，谢谢您今天的分享，拜拜。
拜拜。